Chapter 5. The Dragon Slackers Academy cafeteria looked just like the one back at DSA, except that it was 10 times bigger and filled with fire-breathing dragons. I hope Jellock's spell doesn't wear off now, Erica whispered as they lined up. We'd be toast, said Angus, picking up a cafeteria tray. Wiglaf's crest began blinking at the thought. He picked up a tray too. Raw eel? wailed Angus, and Sigil giggled, plopped some onto his plate. The dragon cook fixed him with an orange glare. Are you complaining? No, said Angus. Wiglaf and Erica got their eel and hurried after Stigi and Angus to the Class 1 table. This is Juma, Stickly. Stigi was telling a small sand-colored dragon with a prickly purple crest. That's a silver sign, and that's Blinky. Stickly nodded, then he picked up a raw eel from his plate. He tossed it into the air and breathed out a blast of fire. Whoosh! The eel cooked in the air. Stickly caught it and gulped it down. Wow! exclaimed Angus. How did you do that? You guys didn't have to cook your own food in your old school, I guess, said Sigi. Me neither. We had a chef at Night Shredder. Great food, she sighed, cooking all the ears on her plate at once. I have to try this. Angus took a breath, tossed an eel into the air, and blew on it with all he might, but the raw eel splattered back onto his plate. Erica had no better luck than Angus. Then Wiglaf picked up an eel. He held it in front of his mouth and blew. Whoosh! He was so surprised when he breathed out fire that he dropped the flaming eel. Wow, said Angus. Tell me how to do it. Try curling your tongue. Wiglaf stuck his tongue out to show them. Then he picked up an eel and popped it into his mouth. He didn't like eel much, but this one tasted pretty good. As he ate, something hit Wiglaf on the back of his head. Splat! Sorry and peace, dude, called the yellow and black dragon. From the next table, he had a shiny black crest. I was aiming for Sigi. He tried again. This time, he hit his mark. Thanks, Taxi, cried Sigi. Here, have some of mine. She hurled some eel at him. For the fight, called the other dragons. It's just like a DSA, said Wiglaf, ducking as a wad of eel sailed over the Class 1 table. Not exactly, said Angus. Wiglaf saw what Angus meant. Now flaming spitballs were whizzing across the cafeteria. A chair caught on fire. A cry went up. Dozer! A plump blue-green dragon galloped over to the burning chair. He drew a breath and whoosh! Instead of flames, water spurted out of his mouth, quickly putting out the fire. All the dragons began to clap and cheer. Nice one, Dowager. Way to go, Dowager. At my old school, we had fire extinguishers, said Sigi. Here, they make the students do everything. Just then, Wiglaf caught sight of a large green dragon with many double chins. She stood on a platform at the front of the room. A rolled-up scroll of Horde magazine stuck out from the pocket of her long red cloak. She gazed out at the students with large violet eyes. Greetings, slackers, she barked. Greetings, Madame Dragonova, the dragon student sing-songed. Who's got gold for me today? Asked the JSA headmistress. No one raised a claw. So no one had robbed or plundered to get me gold for my hold? She asked. No, Madame Dragonova, replied the dragon student in one voice. And I don't suppose any of you have stolen a Dragon Slayer's golden hoard? She asked. No, Madame Dragonova, came the chorus. Listen up, slackers, Madame Dragonova growled. You really livered lizards have been kicked out of some of the finest dragon schools in the world. Now you are at Dragon Slackers Academy. This is as low as you go. The bottom of the barrel. The pit. Some dragon students hung their scaly heads. Wiglaf felt sorry for them. Here at DSA, we will make real dragons out of you, Madame said. We will teach you how to flame. And I'm not talking flaming speedballs here. I'm talking burning down whole villages. Some of the dragon students groaned. Madame Dragonova ignored them. We will teach you how to torch knights, how to rampage, how to plunder, how to destroy the countryside, how to root out dragon slayers and do them in. Many of the dragon students put their heads down on the tables. They didn't look one bit interested in doing any stuff like that. Madame Dragonova's plum-colored eyes came to rest on Wiglaf, Angus, and Erika. Ah, Sigil Gijad said we had new students, she said. Stand and say what brought you to Dragon Slackers Academy. She aimed a claw at Wiglaf first. Wiglaf's crest blinked as he rose. I am Blinky, he managed. I got sent here because I can't stand the sight of blood, he added truthfully. He sat down. Madame D frowned. She stroked her chins with a withered claw. Coach Blazov teaches our blood, gore, and guts class. I will get him to give you a private lesson. Wiglaf hoped that Jella would get them out of there before he had to sit through that. Madame pointed at Angus. The blue dragon stood. I am Juma, he said, and I got kicked out of my old school for eating marshmallows in class. Way to go, dude, called the taxi. Many of the students clapped for Angus. Marshmallows? Madame looked disgusted. Real dragons eat red hearts. Erika stood up. The name's Silvershine, she said. I got kicked out of my old school for being friends with the Dragon Slayer. You three are the worst dragons ever to set claw in DSA, cried the headmistress. You won't like it, but I'm going to make real dragons out of you. Or my name isn't Ivana Dragonova.